Welcome back. Thanks for listening or watching or participating, whatever you want to call it. I'm glad you came again. Today we're going to do the next lesson in our math course, 1.03, which is multiplying and dividing with negative numbers. And you can see, as always, Pennsylvania standards, we are killing them. We're killing them, people. Okay, yesterday we did adding negative numbers, which is kind of like subtracting, except sometimes the negative numbers are bigger than the positive numbers, so we have to be careful with that. And you can see a little graphic I have there, which is what we're going to learn today. So I told you yesterday that I had a help sheet, cheat sheet for you, and here it is. But I've covered up part of it. See, I told you yesterday I only taught you half of it, and as you can see, adding with like signs and unlike signs are listed there. And I just want to tell you the good news, that's the hardest part to learn. Multiplying and dividing is much easier. The rules are so much simpler. Because with adding, you need to keep in mind how big, which one's the bigger one, right? You got to keep in mind which one's the bigger one if they're different signs. And you got to pay attention to the sign and just make sure it's a weird thing to add when you've got two numbers that are negative, like these two right here, like this one, -2 plus -5, -7. If that does not make sense today, go back and watch the last lesson, okay, 1.02. Now, remember, you're going to ignore the signs on adding, and we're going to do some review on that today too. Some tricky stuff coming. Tricky stuff, people. No, don't worry. You can handle it. All right. Anyway, you're going to look at the signs. Actually, you're going to ignore the signs at first, right? And just do a subtraction, in your head. Just think, all right, switch it around. Take the 5, subtract the 2. Then look at your two numbers. Which one, if we don't pay attention to signs, is the bigger number? Well, the 5, right? Well, what is the sign in front of the 5? Plus 5 is the same thing as positive 5, okay? So the answer has to be positive. So we would, in our mind, we know. We don't need a plus there because you don't normally put pluses in front of positive numbers. However, if in this case, where's my pointer? There it is. If in this case, like in this case, -5 or plus a -5 or 2 -5, this plus is actually extra. We really don't need these pluses right here, okay, on these two problems. But if we do this, we do our subtraction again. Simple problem, 5 minus 2 is 3, okay? But where'd my pointer go again? It keeps disappearing on me. We go back and look, all right, which one of them was the bigger number without their sign? Take that sign and put it in front of our answer, okay? That's a little more work than multiplying and dividing. So before we go on, I want to see if you can remember how to do this. Okay, here's the rest of the story. Now, I know I'm covering up a little bit of it with my picture here, but when you go to the, course materials, where I put it, and you go to the file in the Google Drive, you'll be able to get the whole thing, okay? That's a -12, and that is a -5. So multiplying and dividing is actually easier. If the signs are the same, your answer is positive. That's simple. So if you got two negative numbers multiplying or dividing each other, it's a positive answer. Two wrongs make a right, right? I don't think so. But in this case, two negatives make a positive. Okay? And if they are different signs, like in the second half of this thing, right here, okay, you're going to get a negative answer. All right? A negative times a positive is a negative answer. A positive divided by a negative is a negative answer. And a negative divided by a positive is a negative answer. Okay, it doesn't matter which one's negative. If one of them is and one of them isn't, the answer is negative. Simple, right? I told you, this is so much easier than the adding rules. But neither one are really that bad, right? Especially when you've got this wonderful help sheet that I've designed for you. Nice and simple, but pretty colors, I hope. Okay. So let's look at some examples that I'm going to do with you. Let me get my pen. And I need ink color. Let's see what color we need. We need white. I guess we'll need white. Here we go. So we have a negative 72 divided by a negative 8. First of all, first thing you want to say is, oh wait, this is a negative times divided by a negative. That means my answer is going to be a positive, okay? And 72 divided by 8, calculators please. I believe that's a 9. There we go. I wish you were here to help me with this right now. When we're in live class, I make all the students get out their calculators and help me with the problems. All right, so down here we got negative 7 times negative 9. Once more, negative times a negative gives us a positive. And you know I don't need to put that plus sign there, but I'm doing it just for effect so you really know. So 7 times 9, one more. Oh boy, 63, I think. Oh yeah, look over here. We got 63 divided by 9. Oh, cheat, cheat. Okay, anyway, looking ahead. Now, on this row, I did negatives and positives. So we could see how to handle them. Negative 7 times positive 7. So we have a negative times a positive. Gives us a negative answer, and 7 times 7 is 49. All right? But you can do the next one in your head, even if you had to use a calculator over here and got the answer in front of us. The only difference is we've got a positive here, a negative here, so our answer has to be negative. Remember, we're doing multiplication and division, okay? And of course, 63 divided by 9 is 7. There you go. Simple, right? All right, one more, and then I'm going to make you do some more. Okay, 0 divided by negative 4. So is 0 positive? Guess what? 0 is not positive. It's not negative either. It's just nothing. Nothing divided by anything is what? Nothing. Don't be fooled by questions like this one. It's just a big old goose egg. 0 divided by anything. 0 multiplied by anything. 0. No signs involved. 0 doesn't get a sign. Okay? Remember that. Don't be fooled. All right, question number 2, your turn. Find the right answer. Hey, more work for you. We got 8 all together, by the way, just so you know. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Another one. Oh, wait. I wanted to do this one with you. I've got weird stuff going on. Oh, my. This is when it gets weird, but it's not hard. Okay, listen carefully. I'm going to talk slowly. All right. If my daughter was around, she would be like wanting to hurt me. I've got a white pen and it's not showing up now. Let's change that to, I guess we'll go with black. Black's boring, but it'll show up on both of those backgrounds. So look what's going on here. We have a negative 94. Wait a minute. Minus. Oh, yeah, I wanted to throw these back in again. Minus a negative 35. How in the world do we do that? Well, you kind of need the multiplication, the negative multiplication stuff knowledge too. That's why I threw it in here. What's going on here is when we have a minus or a plus or anything, we have a number. There's actually a number right here. You just can't see it. A number here that multiplies times everything in the parentheses. Looking ahead to a little bit of PEMDAS and algebra, but you know, we'll get there. But this is just a teeny tiny little taste. It's not that bad. So if we don't see a number, just like when we don't see the plus sign, we know the number is positive. When we don't see a number, we know the number is 1. Okay? So what I can do is I can take this negative 1, multiply it times this negative 35, and it becomes a positive 35. the first number stays the same, and I don't need those parentheses. I'm just going to copy it. Negative 94. Whoop. Okay, that 9 was pretty sad, but you get it. Okay, it looks a little weird, but negative 94 plus 35. Now, what was the rule for adding two numbers that have different signs? Okay, the rule is subtract them as if they don't have any of the signs. Okay, just do the subtraction because they are different signs. And then look back at the original problem. Which number is this bigger one if we ignore the signs? So let's look at our problem. We've got negative 94 plus 35. So we want to take 35 or 94 and subtract 35. Okay, so what's 94 minus 35? You know what? I don't remember. I can't remember if it's 59 or 24. I think it's 59, actually. Come to think of it, it's got to be. You know why I know that? Here's another little secret in doing these multiple choice problems. I'm going to clue you in. Not all teachers tell their students these things. Okay, I'm going to get out my calculator to confirm it, but 94 minus 35 is 59. But if you look at the answers, we know that the final answer has to be negative because 94, when we ignore the signs, is bigger than 35. You look over here. Well, these two answers can't be it because 94 minus 35 is not going to be 94 in any shape or form. So it's either going to be 24 or 59, negative 59. We know the answer has to be negative, so even without my calculator, I knew A was the right answer. Once I got this done, got rid of the double negative. So let me clear off. I don't know if I can. Where's the eraser? Erase all ink on slide. Look at that, like magic. When you see a negative outside parentheses and you see another negative in there, here's a shortcut. Okay, I'm going to make these bigger so that because when I do my little wipe out, it's not going to show up too well. All right, so we have a minus and a minus. Double negative kind of cancels each other out. That's another way you can think of it. They cancel each other out. They become a positive. So we've got negative 94 plus 35. Okay, and when you have two positives there, you don't even need both of them. You just need one. That makes sense? So negative 94 plus 35 gives us a negative 54. Whew. That's the hardest thing you got to learn right now. I want you to do number 5 on your own. Okay, just a couple more. Don't be fooled now. This is not quite like number 5. Okay, back to multiplying. And last problem. Make sure you answer it right. Okay, now that you've had a chance to answer it and answer all those 8, I hope you're feeling pretty good about negative numbers. Don't be so negative about them, but you know, we can do this. We need more practice. So let's get some practice. Thanks for watching.